We'll do it again either way, man. You sound fun, bro. So let's just get right into it, man. Yeah. Come on. Hey, man, welcome to the Steve Fucile Show. I am Steve Fucile, the one, the only, the least most important person in the room, because I got a very special guest, man, that I want to bring on today. I want to talk about a guy that's just said some amazing things to me. I don't even want to say what he just said to me, man, because it's so wild. But the bottom line is, man, I got the one, the only Deric Bumper in the house, but I'm going to go ahead and give him a full-blown real intro. Deric Bumper is a father of 5, husband, and award-winning sales trainer dubbed the social media maverick. With a monthly average of over 6 million views on his channels, his goal is to help leaders parlay their organic content into profitable personal brand. You can see the man himself by going to the one and only spot. Deric sells cars, guys. So here we go, man. Let's just get right into this. Deric, welcome to the show, brother. That's what's going on. I figured out. Hey, listen, this is my first time on StreamYard. I'm not upset to say I'm learning, bro. We were just talking about you can't teach an old dog new tricks, but this old dog's learning a whole bunch of them. But the great thing about it, brother, I'm learning so many lessons along the way.
You got to be great to start, but you do got to start to be great. You feel me? So
hey, that's it, baby. You got to do what you got to do, man. You know what I mean? You got to do what you got to do. And so speaking, how old are you, man? How old are you?
34. I'll be 35 in October this year. So
yeah, see, you're not an old dog, but you're a dog with some season on him. You've taken a licking or two, haven't you?
No, look, I got a lot more miles on me than I look. I'll tell you that. I was in the military. Beat me down, bro. Beat me down. Still fighting them all the time and pay from them from those jokers, man. But it's all good. All love to them.
Yeah, man, it's all good. It's all good. Listen, let's dive into some of this trickery you got. It ain't trickery. It might be wizardry, man. You might be a student of Hogwarts, man. The way you've blown up your social media. Like who told you could wave a magic wand and just blow up the internet, bro? Who said that?
Gary V. I'm not even gonna hold you. Gary
Shout out to Gary V, right?
Yeah, I started watching this stuff way back when, like 2000, maybe like 14 or 15. You know, this is back in the, we were, getting wrote up for having your cell. At least I was getting wrote up for having my cell phone on the floor. But I was that kid that was going live every day, posting in groups and just, I'm saying, like, I'm not from this area. I don't know these people, but, hell, fuck it, I'm going to get on Facebook and meet some of these folks. And, bro, I'm saying, that consistent trend of just trying to put myself out there on social media is born a lot of amazing fruit, so to speak. So
I love that, bro. I love that.
Bro. Mm-hmm.
So what'd you start with, man? You just decided to jump in Facebook groups, and what kind of groups did you get into, and what did you find? Like, walk us down that journey, man. So, okay, listen. So you're out of the military. Give me the run. So let's skip from regular hard life like the rest of us. Join the military to get out of whatever hard life you had. Decided that was going to be your pathway out. How long did you do in the military, and then what was step 2 after that? Let's start with that.
Well, military, I was 4-0X1, basically a medic in the military. Got out April 26, 2012. Did 4 years, 1 month, 1 day on the nose, right?
The man knows. He could probably tell you to the hour.
And I honestly loved it, but I was just young. Wasn't, I kind of screwed up. Did some, young and done stuff. I was stationed in Panama City, so that probably tells you everything you need to know.
Oh, my mom lives right down the road. Yeah.
Where at? What part? Like I kept
Pensacola.
Oh, yeah. Beautiful area.
Yeah, you right down the road, baby. Yeah, Alan Jackson's, all that in Panama City. Don't think I don't know. Yeah.
So, I love that. I love the military, but unfortunately, we agreed to part ways, and I got out a little bit earlier than what I wanted, but went on to be a firefighter. I did a lot of stuff, man, just basic things, just to find my way. And I slipped and fell into my first retail, like actual big ticket sales item, which was motorcycles. I did really well over there, and it was with the groups. This was back when, it's like, 2013, 14-ish.
Yeah.
And, Facebook was a thing, but it wasn't super widely known and accepted. It wasn't used as the marketing tool that it is today. But I
don't even know if Facebook groups or that was the very precipice of those groups, because I remember they used to advertise them.
Yeah.
Like you would watch on TV and they're like, join groups, and they saw all these people getting together, like, this marketing that they put together. So that had to be right around that time. So we're saying 12, 13s.
Somewhere around there. Yeah. So, because, in the motorcycle space, if you're not familiar, like it's all about community, right? Especially like Harley Davidson, go to one of those, they got some type of barbecue or fish fry or something going on almost every single Saturday.
Right.
Understanding that, me, being a motorcycle guy at the time as well, I was, in a club that was out there. I was like, shoot, man, let's start really promoting this on social media and getting folks out there, since that's what most people did anyway, or at least the micro groups. Right. And it blew up. I didn't know that I was selling a lot of motorcycles. I was just happy to be able to drive these things for free. You know what I'm saying? That was my thing. And I parlayed that into I ended up leaving that, going to the fire department because I was, I wanted that military feel. Did it for a little while, loved it, but again, I have children, so I was like, listen, I gotta, at the time I had one biological, 2 stepchildren. I was like, we got to make some money. My girlfriend, then wife now, was like, yo, I'm moving to Charleston. It's a great opportunity out here. You know what I'm saying? Let's go out here and make this move. And we did. And I slipped up into a Group 1 dealership, Pat Peck Kia.
Okay.
Walked in there. I was like, listen, trying to buy a car, man. We need something to replace this little Toyota Prius. What y'all got for me? After about 30 minutes of me just in there shooting the shit, talking to folks, the internet manager was like, bro, you kind of got away with people because I'm getting everybody involved. Somebody's over there working the deal. I'm talking, shooting.
I'm gonna meet everybody till I find the deal, right?
So I was talking, and he's like, "Bro, you ever thought about working here?" I was like, "Man, I'm not a car guy. I don't know nothing about these cars, bro." And then he was like, "You sure?" He pulled out a paycheck and was like, "This is kind of what I made the last 15 days. I'm coming, mind you, $48,000 a year, working 256 hours every 2 weeks. Like I'm busting my tail." I look at this check for like 12 grand. I think it was like somewhere between 12 and 15 grand. I was like, for 2 weeks, you did this. He's like, yeah. I was like, bro, this is like 3-4 months for me, bro. Y'all hired? What's up?
You said, what about a job? You said I can come to work here? Right.
Yeah,
right.
They gave me a shot, man. They gave me a shot. And bro,
they saw something in you, man. Yeah.
I think, here's what, and this is what I look for in salespeople too. And I'm sure you can probably test this to yourself, man. Like, I don't want the super polished guy. Personally, I don't want that super polished guy that, just got everything going. What I really want is somebody that I can build up. I want the person who has the hard knock life that's, I even go, like, I really prefer, honestly, a lot of the street dudes too, because you can't teach that level of hustle. But somebody's just like, look, I'm tired of what was before and I want something new. And I heard y'all get to it. Please just teach me. If you just give me a shot and teach me, I promise you I'll make as much. That's what I wanted. That's what I wanted. That's what I tried to be. I was humble, just willing to learn. I was the worst car salesman you have ever seen in your life, bro. Swear to God, bro.
I don't know, bro. I was pretty bad for a few years there. I was pretty terrible. Yeah.
So question for you. Do you think that is it true that a lot of folks who typically stay in the longest and become let's say masters of their craft, more often than not, they didn't have that perfect, I came in my first month and did 30 cars. Would you agree or?
Right. No, I would agree with that 100%, man. I started with a cohort of, I don't know, man, like across the city, right? Like, cause you kind of bounce around a little bit, or at least I did when I was young, man. Cause I started this when I was a kid, bro. I mean, I was 17, 18 years old. I was a baby. I was wearing clothes that didn't match. I've told the story in this podcast more than one time, but it always comes up. And, but I was a kid, man. I had no idea what I was doing, but I knew that's what I wanted to do. And so, the guys would fire me and I'd come back to work the next day and they're like, man, we let you go, bro. And I said, yeah, I know, but I'm back. And they'd laugh and they'd be like, man, put the kid back on for another month. See if he can get to 7, see if he can get to 8, cause I just didn't have any season on me and I just didn't know what I was doing. And so, but I was hungry, but I was still scared, and so I had a kind of an experience like you. I went to the health club business after a few years. Now, at that point, I'd been making a living. And so I got an experience like you, but it was the opposite. It pulled me out. I was barely making a living in the car business. Let's say I was tracking 60 grand, something like that. But again, 18 years old, tracking 60, right? 19 years old, tracking 60. It's not terrible. I mean, there's a living there, especially for a young kid. And I went to a health club and this dude that signed me up on the membership, he's like, man, what do you do for a living? I was like, oh, I sell cars, man. I was real proud of myself, really excited. I was like, I'm gonna make, he's like, man, why don't you come to work here? And I go, bro, I'm gonna make $60,000 this year. And he pulled out a paycheck. Yeah, this Mac pulled out a paycheck and he said, bro, I'm gonna make 96 and I wear shorts and a polo and I chase pretty women all day. And I was like, damn, I'm coming to the health club business. And so I took a quick stint in the health club business for about a year, but I'm gonna tell you, it was the best thing that ever happened to me. It taught me how to close. I mean, it taught me how to sell and not just sell, but sell now and find out because that's such an emotional thing, and I got it. You know what I mean? Because I was a little chubby, always have been, but but I'm athletic, I'm strong, I know how to work out, I know how to do that stuff. So, but I understood what those people were feeling. Like I knew the pain point of the customer coming in. I could see it. It's like, you're uncomfortable, man. Let's get you comfortable. And so I learned how to hone in on that pain point, and then not capitalize on it, for lack of a better word, but convert that to a deal now. And then when I went back to the car business, it was like, oh, These folks have pain points. Got it. I thought I was hustling metal. Nah, I'm solving these people's problems. I'm making dreams. I'm doing, and then it was like, boom. And the month I went back to the car business, it was like 22, 25, 29, 26, 28. And it was, from then on, it was gravy. But that had to convert. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
My like aha moment, bro, was back that same dealership group. I found that I've always been like a charismatic guy. I'm real friendly. I'm a people person, and I built amazing rapport, but that doesn't lead to closing deals, right? So what I figured out, and I kind of cheated, just to be honest, but I'm doing the stuff on social media. I'm going live every day. When they first put that out, I'm in the groups and working it, and I'm just developing a certain set of phone skills because I have to get people in 3-4 times to be able to close one deal, unfortunately, at a time. And it all lined up for me when out of the blue, like my Facebook stuff's going, I'm starting to get into ads and running those. I think I had like 25 people show up, on a random Tuesday. And I'm like, crap. I look up around the building. I'm like, man, every deal in here is mine. Because obviously I can't.
Baby.
I'm splitting stuff. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm over here pretty much basically being like a floor manager, so to speak, checking on my customers. How you doing? You good, Miss Jones? Okay, you good? Hey, Phil, what's up, bro? How you been? Yeah. You taking care of you? Okay. Working, the prettiest girl, because that's the one I want to work with, And
right.
Lo and behold, bro, we sold 12 cars that day. And I'm like, God, dog.
Right.
But it clicked for me.
It's
it was
a
like
Kia store.
It's
a Kia store in South Carolina.
Nissan store. So at this time I switched over to that store. But I'm saying like, okay. So that's the key thing. I don't have to be the best closer. I just need, if I can flood people out and have so many people know me, then that's the thing. This numbers game from there. Because guess what? BT can be a better closer than me. Will can be a better closer. Jay can be a better closer. But if I flood the dealership out, boom. And the second I figure that out, they're like, hey, Deric, have you ever heard of an internet manager before? I was like, no, what's that? Salary.
Yeah, what's that? How's this working, bro? How'd that work? Yeah.
I
had a guy that, go ahead. I had a guy named Carlos Rodriguez that worked with me. Man, this son of a bitch had my number, man. I'm not gonna listen. This dude was from Mexico, bro. And when I say from Mexico, like hardly spoke English, right? We're in the north side of Houston, right? I'm fairly affluent neighborhood, coming into middle class and then affluence after that, and then a lake community after that. And this dude had, white people lined up to see him on Saturday afternoon. I worked with this dude for 10 years, bro. And to this day, I don't know where all these people came from because I never had that many people coming to see me and I was good. You know what I mean? And like this dude had so many people coming to see him. And that was the thing. It's like, it didn't matter how good he was, how much he could close. He had his appointment set. He had his business booked. And I don't know where they all came from. They were all legit. There's no funkery going on. This dude had it going on. And we battled it out for number one, number two. And he only worked half the week. He'd show up like Wednesday. He'd take Sunday, Monday, Tuesday off, show up like Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, half day, one of those days. He had another dealership down the road that he owned that he had it so live. He was buying used cars from our GM who loved him because he was a free employee. Everything he brought to the table was his. So there was, there was no overflow from there was no taking. And I remember I tell you that story because this dude, I hated him so much. Because we've been together like 6 years, bro. He worked directly in front of me. His office was connected to my office. We shared a paywall, And I remember telling him, I said, look, man, I said something to him. And he looked dead at me in my face and he said, hey, he goes, I'm sorry. In a Spanish accent, he said, I'm sorry. He said, what's your name again? Bro. Wow. I almost collapsed. Like, I was like, he had me, bro. He had my number. He knew who I was. And I realized later at that moment, I was like, oh, this dude's a ninja. Like he's a Jedi, bro. He had a mind trick on me and he was a ninja, and shout out to Carlos, man. I hope to God he's rich and successful and he's got a wonderful, healthy family, but I'm gonna tell you something. He had my number, bro. He had my number.
I think there's one guy, and I'm not even gonna say his name, but there's one dude that I just still to this day cannot stand to this day. You know what I'm saying? This again, I was paying for my I didn't take anything from the dealership. I paid for my own ads, worked them, all that kind of stuff. So folks, when they came to see me, that wasn't for free. I'd put X amount of dollars. I'd calculate, okay, I can spend, roughly, $1,000 and I'll get this amount of cars sold with my closing ratio. So I was livid, bro. And this customer came in and I'd already talked to him that morning. She fell asleep. I was like, I'll call you later on today. She comes in, ends up going through the whole process and buys a car from this dude. And I see him like, hey, what you doing here? She's like, oh yeah, I'm finishing up. We just got a car. Thank you for telling us about it. So I was like, you didn't mention me. You didn't mention me. I didn't know at a specific place. I never advertised the dealership. I was like, Deric sells cars, always. Deric sells cars. And I go up to the sales person, I'm like, bro, you didn't see notes in the CRM, bro. You really didn't see. Let's talk about that.
You didn't see those. You didn't see all that,
bro. Dog, yeah. I cannot stand that dude to this day, bro. Off of that, and that was like maybe 8 years ago, maybe.
Yeah, right.
But
it's hard, man. It's hard, bro, for a lot of these dudes, man. And listen, I'm not being cocky here, but I'm one of the best car salesmen in the country, man. I believe that. I'll stack myself up against anybody, anytime, any day, anywhere. Drop me in. You and I, look, I don't care who it is. You can put me on an airplane, kick me out of it with anybody else in the country, boot us out with parachutes, land us within a dealership, and I'll smoke you. And I'm not saying you, but I'll smoke you. You know what I mean? Like, that's my game. I'm very competitive, but I'm do it with love. You know what I mean? I've never wanted to take something from anybody else. I never understood that. Like, I know you're struggling. I know you want your family to have a life, man, but you gotta like grin and bear it like everybody else. We got to get through this together. Well, tell me you need help.
It's so many people out there. Like, there's enough for everybody, bro. You don't have to be
so much food.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
so
bro,
much food, man.
Especially now, bro. Like, literally this medium, you know what I'm saying? Whatever platform, whether it be Facebook, TikTok, bro, all you gotta do, if you just put yourself out there, folks will hear about you. And if they rock with your message, boom. You know what I'm saying? If you got 5,000 folks that follow you, 1% of the population is the market for a vehicle 24/7. If you got 5,000 friends on your Facebook, that's 50 people that are right now in the market for a vehicle. You can't get 15 of them in here. Come on now.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying? Bro,
you know that TikTok. Yeah, no, it is a numbers game. You know that TikTok that's what's it goes like, how come you ain't famous yet? It's like, because you ain't sharing my shit. You ain't sharing my shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. But here's the other part of that nobody's saying. You didn't ask me to share your shit. You didn't say, hey, bro, I'm trying to do a thing, right? Hey, man, I'm trying to build a business. And if you're on my Facebook and you're in my friends and family, you know what I'm trying to do. I'm telling you, it's not a game. I'm trying to take over the world, bro. Like, this isn't a game. Help me, love me. I'll love you. You call me, I got you, right? You want me to share your stuff? You want me to promote your business? I'm in. You know what I mean? I'm in. Tell me how I can help you. You know what I mean? Have a legit business, please. If you want to contact me, have a legit business. Like, please have a building, have an address, have your phone number on Google. Like, please don't ask me to promote your business, bro. Please don't ask me to leverage my capital with the people that are watching this and all my friends to leverage your business and they got a number on Google, bro. Help me help you. And but I'll help you. You know what I mean? I care about your business, because if we're friends, if we're family, if we're not just, man, even if I don't know you, I care about you. And I think that seems like I wrote down on you a while ago, I wrote down servant heart when you were talking. You're talking about your stepchildren, you're talking about the other people. And it seems like to me, like you've got a heart for service for other people, the fire department, the military. I mean, all those things are giving up of yourself to help others. And I think that's sort of what you're trying to do with some of this when we're talking about parlaying your brand, figuring out who you are, and then building a business with these folks and to help them build their own value in the community. Right.
Absolutely.
So dude, your TikToks are hilarious, man. I was just watching one a while ago, where the lady, somebody, basically they cart narked her, right? I don't know if you've seen the cart narc, but that's my homeboy. I love that dude. He's so funny. But somebody had zip tied the cart to their doors, and you're like, hey, that's what happens when you leave a bad review. Yeah. Gotcha. Like,
it still blows my mind to this day. Crazy enough, my whole like social media, especially the way, because this page, my Facebook and my TikTok, are basically, because at my height, the highest position I held was with a automotive group called American Carson. I was their social media trainer, operations guy. I held a lot of hats that I did. But the base of my job was to go into a dealership. If they're not doing well, help them get better. You know what I'm saying? We're trying to break a certain number in that week and leave a lasting impression, whether it be hiring, firing people, whatever the case may be. That was kind of my bread and butter for 3 years before the pandemic and everything. But man, bro, like it just like the whole thing was basically just to look, okay, y'all don't believe that TikTok is the next thing. It is. Here's how I want you guys to do it. And I started basically just documenting my day. You know what I'm saying? The insane situations, without fluff, without anything crazy. Because here's the reality, bro. I don't think I'm funny, man. I really do not think I'm funny at all. But
I think you're hilarious, bro.
Bro, I'm not even.
And I think I'm funny. So if I think you're funny, you must be funny, bro. Because I know what funny is.
I'm just literally putting out the situations, and why it rings home is because and at least in my opinion, if my stuff like does well, does numbers and everything, it's because it's real. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You can see this happen.
Right.
Everybody's had that dude with the fake pay stubs that came in there, man, it's real. And then you call the call HR, or whoever trying to verify. Hey, they haven't heard of you, Jim. What's going on? What's up? You feel me?
So. Speaking of fake numbers, man, I was watching another one of your TikToks the other day, bro. And you had like I couldn't tell what it was. You had like a clown face on. You're talking about when one of these fools come in with a CPN or whatever, like, and you is that happening? Do you find a lot of that in your market and where you're at with a lot of that stuff?
I'm in Atlanta. This is scam capital, man.
So for folks that don't know what's going on with that, do me a favor, man. Just run down like what CPN is, what that looks like, how you can tell, how you can spot it if you know, and then just like what that means for people.
Yeah. So to be honest, I'm not the most versed with it, and this was a new thing when I came specifically out because I didn't see very much of that in like Mississippi and everything where I first started. Where I got deeper into the car business. When they moved me out to Atlanta, now I'm getting involved with all this scamming stuff because, of course, you had fake pay stubs, but it was nowhere near to the level of here. When I say like fake pay stubs to the point where like they actually have phone numbers you can call to verify everything. There's a person picks it. Like it's super in depth. They make the bank statements to match all types of stuff. So CPN, of course, is basically it's a number that's not really a social. You can basically get it where it acts like a social, and they have it built up with credit, and you can use it to purchase. Again, I'm not going into the legalities of it because I don't know, but it's prevalent here, and you probably can speak to that more than I can. But it's super prevalent out here with folks just trying to get over. They may have 4 or 5 repos. Like, all right, let me start fresh with this CPN and leverage this, and basically get whatever I'm looking to get out there.
Well, it goes back into so I own a credit repair company. Shout out to Rebound Financial Group. Also, my wife and I manage that. It's done well for the last year and a half. I built that with my soon to be wife. I say wife on the show.
You got a link on
fiance. Yeah. But I want yours too, baby, because look, everybody's got a flavor, and this is what we were talking about earlier. There's enough food for everybody, and the thing is this: Baskin Robbins has 31 flavors for a reason. Right. Like people, you may be, you may be pistachio flavored ice cream. I may be vanilla. Some people like vanilla. Some people like pistachio. You know what? I met a lot of hardheads out there that love Rocky Road. You know what I mean? They love them Rocky Roads, but that's kind of what that CPN stuff is. And that's what that bad credit is. And I'm going to roll into a sponsor real quick while we're doing this, since this all just rolled into the whole game. I want to shout out to Identity IQ, man. Take control of your credit, complete credit and identity protection, real-time credit monitoring. That's all 3 credit bureaus, reports and scores, real-time, no inquiry, soft pull, real FICO scores with Identity IQ. There's your Credit Karma. Listen, let me tell you something. Your Credit Karma is only bringing you bad karma when you come into that dealership, because all those fake bumps and all that old stuff that you're putting on there, it ain't moving your FICO, guys. It's moving your Credit Karma number. It's making you feel real good and fuzzy. But let me tell you something, you still can't buy a car at a 450 Beacon, and all those fake bumps and all that Credit Karma money ain't putting you in a new ride, okay? You're still going to need cash as king. But let's not forget one easy to read report, added value of identity theft protection. The link is in the bio, Identity IQ. We use them for Rebound Financial Group. I don't know if Deric uses them, but if you do, let's get you some sponsorship money too, man, because these guys are great.
Let's go. I'm with it. Make me up, man.
So, yeah, man. So, but the credit repair business, it leads into that too, man. And that's where what's weird about that business is I started this because I was sort of a subprime king for a long time also. I mean, my only experience in F&I was subprime. I never sat in the box, contracted new car deals. I mean, I've contracted 500 new car deals, but those were just print and signs, press hard 5 copies, right? There was no sales in that. There was no F&I, no real backstopping, no real management of it. But I did bang special finance when I was at the Mazda store for a long time. So I ran the sales desk and the F&I department, basically. We're a small store, 9 sales guys. We had 2 desk managers and 1 GM, and then, service and parts and all that stuff. But I mean, there's so much bad credit in the world, man. So much bad credit, bro. It's just wild.
I'm more shocked when I see a great credit score than when I see it. I'm not surprised when I see that. I just believe
that. That's awful, man.
That's
awful. Listen,
talking about those guys is like, I think that's just kind of segue into the content that I do. Like, bro,
Yeah.
you didn't realize how little people understand about credit, about, what it takes to finance something, how money truly works. And I think that's something that brings home to a lot of people too, because that's all I do is basically just I'll throw in a little dirty joke or whatever in there. But you know what I'm saying? Honestly, I'm doing is just breaking down like, yo, here's how a car deal works from my experience. A, B, C, D. No, you can't get that, the beautiful Porsche, with a 500 credit score and you only make $2,500 a month, bro. It just doesn't make sense. And think about it, from a common sense standpoint, how could it?
How could it?
Yeah. Just I
get it, man. It's very strange, man. And like, I don't know. Listen here, I'll get into this since we're both, we both work with customers directly. We both work car deals directly, and we see lots and lots and lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of people. I mean, I've talked to like literally in person, thousands of people. Like, I don't have a giant education. I don't have a master's degree, all these kind of things. But let me tell you something. I know as much about more people's jobs and lives than most people in the planet, because I've interviewed 10,000 people about their lives, their jobs, their kids, their credit, their divorces, all those things, right? So have you. So what do you think? What do you think the reason is that people lose their minds when it just comes to simple car mathematics?
Bro, I don't know, man. I have no idea. And I was talking to somebody on, because I'll go on live on my, TikTok and stuff. And I had a guy jump on there the other day, and I was like, bro, does that make sense to you? Like, for some strange reason, when I want, a $50,000 truck, and I expect to pay no more than $300 a month. I'm like, bro, simple math with that. Like, just what are you thinking? No money down either. I don't know. I think it's just ignorance, or I literally have no idea, bro. Because like,
I think it's a mind virus of hope. Like it's a mind virus created by hope and want, right? Maybe jealousy and desire for somebody wanting something they can't afford. And it's sad, man. Nothing breaks your heart, but that's what makes you a salesman, right? And that's what these young guys listening and people that are new to the car business listening, that's what makes a salesman, is how to convert that $300 bad idea, just bad mathematical situation into something that's real, right? How do we convert them into like, look, it's not an F-350 today. It's probably not even a Ranger. You know what I mean? But maybe it's a 5-year-old single cab Dodge, right? Maybe it's a 5-year-old single cab Dodge, and I happen to have one. Are you interested in driving something nice? Do you want to drive, ride, or walk, right? So the car business has been good to me, man. It looks like it's been good to you, but talk to me about moving into this TikTok world. Okay, so you're giant on TikTok. What are your other platforms? How do they work for you? Obviously, TikTok's algorithm is insane. Right. Bro, I mean, it's wild to watch.
Absolutely nice. Crazy enough, Facebook is too. So anyway, let me start with TikTok. TikTok was where I started putting a lot of my serious time into. I was known as the Facebook guy for the longest because even though I may not have had the biggest following, I just know how to work it. For example, I was at Miller Motors. Shout out to Bruce out there in West Wego, Louisiana.
Hey, I met Bruce this week at NADA, man. What a player, bro.
All gas,
what
no
a player,
brakes,
bro.
Hey, he gets
all gas. Shout out to All Gas, No Brakes, man. That dude is a fool with it, man.
I love it. And you should have, if you haven't, bro, have him on here, bro. Like
he's coming on. Yeah, he's coming on next week. We talked to him. I mean, listen, man, I don't know what it was. I just gravitated to that guy. He gravitated to me. We 10 minutes into a conversation, we're hugging each other, talking about how much we love God, how much life is good, how, you know what I mean? We're out there just banging it away and how much, how blessed we are, man. And you want to talk about a story? I can't wait to bring his story to the table. Cause I mean, you're talking about a guy that
bro, that is,
I'm not going to get into it, but so we're at Miller Motors. All right, go for it.
Yeah, but so we're Miller Motors, and my specialty has always been like I was over at those guys' shop, and I was like, all right, we did the training, and I broke down. Okay, here's how you build your personal brand. Here's some tips and tricks to the marketplace. Here's how to do this with your bird dogs, and basically how to force that grassroots market. And that's why I call it that organic stuff. Here's how to force it. But yeah, man, I'm sitting down with these guys, and like maybe like I wanted Donald is his name actually. I posted one status and shared it. This, did a certain type of thing with it, and boom, he's literally. I talked to him the other day. He's like, "Bro, my phone is still blowing up." That was almost coming up on a week ago from one status. I was like, "Yeah, bro, you know what I'm saying? It's a hit. Let's go.
Yeah. Well, hey, when you get a hit, it's wild, man. I told you, I just had one of my first big. Listen, I've had 30, 40,000 likes. I mean, plays and stuff like that, and it's cool. But man, I had my first blow up the other day, and I appreciate you saying it was a hit. It's like, I mean, I tell you right now, I gained 250 followers. I gained 18,000 likes, and on 165,000 plays, and it's still rolling right now. These numbers are off as we're speaking because it's clicking. It's wild to watch it grow, man.
That's what's dope about TikTok. Like specifically on TikTok, there's no. I think on a lot of platforms, maybe they put you in a box, or they only let a certain number of people see it. Like, you have what, like maybe 5-6 videos at the time of this recording, bro. Like, bruh, and you know what I'm
from
saying,
this
like
channel, right?
blowing,
Yeah,
just
yeah,
blowing up,
100%. It was wild, and
that's
I didn't mean to interrupt, man, but go ahead, yeah.
Well, so what I think what's interesting about us and our niche specifically is that because by the numbers, 1% of the population is always in the market for a vehicle. So if we're putting out automotive related content, it's going to ring with 1% of the population. That's a huge number when you think of the millions and billions of people out there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's what's super dope. So yeah, TikTok's made for us, in my opinion, bro. Perfect.
Hey, thank you, Communist Maoist China. I appreciate you, brother. Shout out to the CCP, baby. Like, you're getting my data, but you're sure paying for this Panamera I'm driving. Like, I appreciate you, man.
My God, bro.
So you had said something to me earlier, man, about TikTok blowing up more so even than the work that you actually do. Is that something you feel good about talking about? I mean, we don't have to get into it specifically, but
100%. Because I like one of the other jobs I work, I can't even talk about. I work as a stealth startup as well. So they're kind of like really all NDAs and everything. So this is more about
for those of y'all that didn't catch it. For those of y'all that didn't catch it, Deric's in the CIA.
Yeah. So we what's blessing is I was just talking to my wife about this. I was like, bro, realistically, I make more from my like social media, the clicks and where I send the traffic to, like, than I do my own job. And that's a blessing, bro. Like, I could, if God forbid, but if all hell breaks loose, as long as I've got my platforms, I can pay all of my bills plus I'm live a pretty good lifestyle just off of my social media. And it comes from just being me. And I like, and for me personally, coming from a place where I was always, it's that young guy doesn't know what he's talking about, and I was kind of being put down because I was the social media guy. So now it's like, bro, you can't deny me. You can't deny me. If you know what, because I think, and I reached out to one dealership a while back just to, I was doing some work for another company. Reached out to him, and he's like, "No, I'm not with that social media stuff." And I think he had me on speaker, and then one of his sales managers was in the room. He was like, "Who is that?" You said Deric Bumper, dude. I love your stuff. I was
like bingo, yeah. So,
but yeah, TikTok is blowing up. It's a great platform to be on. Just put yourself out there, and you don't need. I did 50,000 followers without one hashtag. I'm just consistent
without a hashtag, just straight for your page, just straight
That's
going.
It, and then what's dope about Instagram and Facebook as well is because they're trying to replicate that. And I just was blessed to get into it early. But I remember when the whole digital creator thing was opened up. I just was already posting my stuff over there because, and here's a tip for anybody wanting to kind of get into this. If any platform is playing with something like it's a new feature, go all in on it, double and triple down on, because they're going to push that in front of people. So with this new Reels thing coming, I was like, all right, let me start sharing my stuff over here. And Facebook and Instagram were so backed up, bro. I didn't even realize I was going viral. Like, I had a homeboy call me up. This was like maybe a year ago. He called me up and he's like, bro, what are you doing? I was like, what are you talking about? He's like, man, my homeboy is like, I was talking to him and everything. He showed me a video of some crazy car dude, doing skits and stuff. And it was you. Like, what are you doing? I was like, what are you talking about? You sent it to me. I'm like, wow, I didn't realize I'm sitting at 5 million views on one video, another 4 million on another one. I'm like, bro, what? Because there was no notification process. It didn't really jump in your stuff. So yeah, man.
Really? No notification process. So you don't even know.
I didn't even, well, back now it's of course all fixed and stuff like that. When you're going, but beforehand, yeah, I had no idea whatsoever. It was like almost like a separate section of your Facebook. Before they got.
So you're a father of 5, right? I'm a father of 1. Mm-hmm. And I feel almost as proud as listen, I'm driving my demo or whatever, company car demo back from home. I drove it for the night, make sure everything was good on it. We just bought it, whatever, right? I'm driving this 911 back to work from home, and I'm driving and for the first time, like my Instagram starts going boom, 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 bling, bling, bling. My watch is vibrating. I think it's broke. You know what I mean? It's like, bang, 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 bang. And I'm sitting there yeah. So I'm rolling down the road, and then it's like Siri in my ear, and she's like, it's like Instagram says, motherfucker, this is how I liked. And then it's like, finally, this is the proudest moment next to having my child, right? It's my second baby. So Siri's like, would you like me to turn off Instagram notifications? Because this is annoying. Is basically what she said. I'm like, hell yeah, turn this off. But we had so many notifications. Yeah, it warmed my heart. I'm like, my watch knows that this is annoying. That's how well this IG's doing right now. I'm like, come on, baby, let's go. So it's cool when the robots recognize the game.
Now it's addicting too. You know what I'm saying? Like, I find myself now, and I'm a little, maybe I'm a little bit bougie with it. But if I open up TikTok and if I don't see 99 plus, I'm like, yo, what's going on, bro? Like, what's up?
All right, well, you got me 10x. You're the Grant Cardone of this thing because you 10x me, man. If I don't see 9 plus, I feel the same way. So look, I told you I'm coming, baby. I'm coming. All I need is a 9. All I need is a 9, and I'm good. That's so far, yeah. That's been my number lately. It's like 9 plus, 9 plus, 9 plus. Then I won't go for a while. It's like 22, 28. And I'm like, hey, man, let's blow this thing up because listen, what we're both trying to do is not only build a business for our families, for ourselves, give ourselves a platform to connect with more people, to help more people, to make more people laugh, to make, look, man, life's rough, right, on a lot of people. And so if we could provide something that's entertaining, educational, fun, inspiring, whatever the case may be, whether it's salespeople listening to this show that want to go like, how do I sell cars like Steve? How do I sell cars like Deric? How do I be a manager? How do I not take myself too seriously? How do I start social media, right? All these things come into play. I think that it's like we're doing this for fun, for excitement, and for all those other reasons we said. But the key, man, is just go, right? Yeah. Like you just gotta go, bro. Done is better than perfect. I made so many IGs before anybody paid attention. I mean, and then it's like I hit one, I spun the wheel around on this thing. Like I Googled like car photography, right? And I'm like, okay, so I'm watching YouTube, and this guy did some wild stuff, and I was like, okay, well, I think I could do that. Like, I think I can do this with my phone. And I went and played with it and like spun my phone around the wheels and had it drive and like did something. And it was like, and it took off and it was like, oh, that's dope. So it's just like looking at what other people are doing and trying to make it your own flavor.
I think that the best thing about it, I literally talk to, like, when I do my whole class on this stuff, I'm like, bro, there are people who are already doing what you want to do and they're already at the level. Like, just, imitation is the most sincere form of flattery. But because they got it, bro, just go out there. What are they doing? And how can you make it yours? That's literally, that's the cheat sheet. Right. And then, of course, as you go and get deeper into it, you can kind of spin off and do your own specific thing. But, bro, just copy what works. Like, especially on TikTok, copy what works. And then, boom, it'll just blow up from there. Like, there's the only reason. Go ahead. Go. Sorry. Yeah, I would say that the only reason people aren't big is just because it's either one, you're lazy, or you're too self-conscious. Like, it's saying, I gotta have it to be perfect. It's gotta be this and that, bro. Right. Just put the stuff out there. Like, if y'all look at my content, bro, like I literally sit in my office, which I'm in right now, at home, and I'll just have my phone. I'm just, recording. Boom, I change the perspective. Boom, boom, boom. 10 seconds. Boom. I don't watch my stuff. I just put it out there because guess what? If it goes, it goes. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But I'm not gonna limit myself by overthinking or taking myself too seriously. I'm just boom, let it out there, man. Let it out there.
Right, and it doesn't matter. Like a miss isn't a miss isn't a missed opportunity. It's not like you didn't feed your family because you made a reel that didn't work, or you made a TikTok that was stupid, or you look at it later, you're like, what was I even doing here? Like, I don't even know the point of what I was trying to do. Like, was I, you know what I mean? Was I high on fajitas from lunch? You know what I mean? Like, what happened here? Sleeping on the job with my TikToks. But I mean, it doesn't matter, man. Just put the content out there, get used to being on that camera and go. Like, look, I have this podcast, right? This is a new podcast. I've been comfortable in front of the camera for a long time, but you and I are on episode 4, right? And I've shot lots of different things in the camera with my friends, playing around, practicing, doing this, getting used to the buttons. How do I use my Rodecaster? How do I switch these things? But even today, I learned something new with the platform that we're using, right? Because I really wanted in studio. But what I'm learning is like, hey, it doesn't even matter. Like, I'm in studio, I've got the equipment, I've got the right thing. Like, it doesn't matter if your shot's perfect or if we're in here like this is the Joe Rogan experience or something, man. We're just doing a thing. We're talking. 2 car guys talking about what's up. So nothing has to be perfect. And if this episode isn't perfect, we got to reshoot this thing or there's no audio, what's it matter, bro? What'd I do? I had a great conversation with a guy that I really enjoy talking to. Like, okay, I win, right? I win.
And that's the key thing, man. And again, that's the basic advice. You know who actually said it better? Mr. Beastburger, actually. And that's, of course, the guy who's like a mega giant, influencer, hundreds of millions of followers. But he was like, 100%. Bro, if you want to be great, the best advice I can give you is honestly talk to me after you've done your 100 videos. You know what I'm saying? After you kind of push it out there. And the key thing is you just got to focus on getting better every single time. You know what I'm saying? Better every single
Gary
video.
V. That's Gary Vee. Like when you watch Gary Vee, they'll be like, I heard him talking one day and he's like, I had a girl come to me and she's like, Gary, my I'm trying to do my social media things. Like, how many videos you post? She's like, I did 2 this week. He's like, do 2 this hour, 2 next hour, 2 next hour, 2 next hour, and then do that. Like, talk to me when you've got, 52 posted this week. Then we'll talk about whether your social media works. Like, what are you doing? And I think a lot of people are scared of like, don't have anything to say. but everybody's got something to say because we talk all day. We talk all day to our friends, our family. We talk to ourselves on the ride home. Get a notepad, write it down, man. I mean, if there's any advice, like just think about the things that I hate to say the old analogy, like what keeps you up at night, but something's keeping you up at night. And if there's something in your head and there's something in your heart that you feel like you got to say it, man. You know, put it out there, put it on tape and go, man. It's easy.
Here's the reality, bro. With all these people that are out there, realistically, you know what I'm saying? And this is the way I look at it in terms of like monetized and everything else. But all these billions of folks out there, somebody's going to rock with you, man. Somebody will. And realistically, if you can just find, for the average everyday person, if you can just find 10,000 out of the billions of people on site, you can find 10,000 folks that really walk with you. They might pay you $1 for, you know what I'm saying, to support you. That's $10,000 a month right there. That's 6 figures.
It's a lot of money, bro. I mean, there's a $1, there's a 50-cent paywall that you can put on Patreon that'll work just fine. But they're happy to take 20 cents of it or 10 cents of it, but there's more than enough money to go around out there, man. And there's more than enough content. There's more than enough things. Be vulnerable. I mean, if we're talking to people and giving advice, it's what? It's be vulnerable and be yourself. You know, I mean, if you're I see TikTok posts all the time. People are like, this is my first TikTok. I don't know what to do. They literally just say that. And you look down, it's like 275,000 likes. So it's like, there's nothing stopping you from getting to where you want to be. The only thing stopping you is you not doing it. Right.
100%. 100%.
Awesome,
yeah, I always
man.
say it's gotta be great to start, but you do got to start to be great. You know, you just got to put yourself out there, take a chance. What got you wanting to do this for the podcast, bro, man? By the way,
man, I'm a creative, man. I love this stuff. So I did stand-up comedy back in 2000 when I was at the Mercedes store. I'd done some stand-up for a little while because I only had two things I ever really wanted to be in life. I wanted to be a lawyer or I wanted to be on Saturday Night Live. And I hated school, so I was like, not going to be a lawyer, but maybe I can be a class clown. And that worked out well, you know, up to the point of detention every other day. And so as I moved my way in the car business, you know, I finally found some financial freedom. And I was like, hey, man, I can do what I want to do. I'm going to start doing some stand-up. And start doing stand-up comedy for I don't know, man, about a year. Took a little break, moved to a Mercedes store in North Carolina, lived with a girl up there, and that I'd been friends with for many, many years. And we kind of started dating. So I moved in with her, and it kind of sparked like this because there was on the news one day, they were running a casting call for Big Brother. And I was watching it. We were watching it. It was like early in the morning, like on a Sunday or something. I said, oh, I could get on that show. And she was like, you ain't getting on no Big Brother, bro. I was like, come on with yourself. You think you're so cool, man. I said, bet me I'll get on there. She was like, all right, fine. So I like 4:00 cattle call. So I go down there and I go down there and I made the first cut. I was like, all right, cool. So they called me back. They're like, hey, can you be at the studio tomorrow at 4:00 or whatever? I was like, yeah, absolutely. So I go down and I do a taping for the producers and we go through another round. They're like, hey, look, if you make the next round, we'll call you at like tomorrow at Sunday at midnight or, you know, before 9:00 or some kind of story like that. I can't remember what it was, a week or whatever it was. So she's like, I can't believe you made the second round of this thing. And I was like, yeah, of course. Well, in that production, I had talked, I
said, that's huge though.
Yeah, it was fun, man. It was fun. And you know, look, it's all on what can I do, right? Because I have a giant belief in myself. I don't know why, but I always thought I should have a show called Steve Can Do Whatever He Wants. And just like, let's see if I can get on an airplane without an ID, which I've done before in Panama City. Well, so it's like, you know, what can I get away with? And that's always what it was. And so it was always pushing. And that's sort of what drove me through the car business. It's like, look, I know I can do this. And it's not scam. It's not a hustle. It's none of that. It's like, I have confidence in myself and I believe that I can talk my way with sense and logic through any problem and any solution. So I talked my way almost onto that show.
You know what I'm saying? That's half the battle with life, though. You just have to have that almost irrational confidence. Like, you know what? Fuck it. Nothing's telling me that I can't do it. I'm going to go for it.
I got like Kobe confidence, bro. Like,
let's go. Let's go. We just missed 99 shots. I won't miss this.
I'm gonna get this one. I bet you 20. I got this one. You know, like as soon as you put some competition on it, that's the other thing. I don't know what it is. I'm hyper competitive. And like I said that earlier, but it's hyper competitive in the best possible way. Look, I'll help you win. You know, like if you've got if we're doing a thing and it's A to Z and you're better than me, I want you to win. But when it's over, I want you to be like, bro, I never had to fight like that to beat anybody. You know what I mean? I don't care. And then I'll be stewing on it. Like, could I have been faster? Could I have been stronger? You know, I don't know what it is. I'm just competitive. I like to win. And
in those situations too, man, it forces you to get better. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
Okay, I can't. Even if let's say you do win, but it was like a slim margin. Okay, yeah, they're right there. I gotta.
Right.
We gotta go.
Yeah. When I went to Monday Chevrolet, it's a long story, but anyways, I went to work for this dealership that I worked for 12 years. And the sales manager and I had played golf with a mutual friend. And he was like, man, you should come work over here. Cause I was working at a little Nissan store and doing about 25 cars a month in used car department. My other buddy was doing 25 cars a month. We were partners. We did 50 a month and we split every deal. He's my office partner, my buddy. We split every deal. And we were only doing 75 cars. We had 7 salespeople and he and I were doing 50 of them. You know what I mean? So we had a demo. We each had a demo and they'd put me in. I was like, hey, look, the new Maxima came out or something. I was like, hey, man, I want to drive that car. We had a bunch of them. So it wasn't like there was just like one of them and only the GM was driving. I was like, hey, I want to drive that car. And they were like, absolutely not. You know what I mean? Like, we got an Altima with your name on it. And I was like, this dude just offered me a job and a Tahoe. And I'm like, so I told him, I was like, look, man, I hate to tell you this, but I'm leaving here in 10 minutes if I don't get a demo of my choice. And if Daniel Durbin, my boy, doesn't get a demo of his choice, we're leaving. I hadn't even talked to Daniel yet. Right. We're both making tons and tons and tons of money. We're the biggest fish in the small pond. Right. And I walked in, he was like, I'm not doing it, Steve. I'm sorry. And I said, cool. I get it, man. I appreciate you. This has been a great time. And I wasn't being a brat. It was just like, there was something in my heart that I knew it was time to move. You know, and it's like, if you wouldn't let me do what I want to do, I know you won't let me do what I need to do as we go on. And that's be a sales manager, get in F&I, do all those things that I wanted to do. And so I went over, went into my office and Daniel had a customer and he was literally working a deal. I said, hey, pack it up. We're gone. And he goes, what are you talking about? I said, pack your stuff. We're leaving right now. And he's like, where are we going? I said, Monday Chevrolet. He goes, come on. And he said, sorry, folks. My boy told me we're leaving. He literally quit working that car deal, packed his desk and we left. And then we were working there a week later. We took a week off, went to work a week later. But I don't remember where I was going with that, but go ahead.
Now, what advice? So I get that question a lot, right? Folks will inbox me, I'm asking pretty much like, how do I break into management? I've been the top guy at this place for a long time. And you said, kind of felt it in your spirit, it was just time to move on, time to go. What advice do you have to those folks out there who are like, okay, I'm killing it over here. I want to step up to the next level. I feel like I'm ready, but for whatever reason, there's maybe not a slot or there's something that they feel I'm missing. What advice do you give to those guys to kind of step up? Would it be to travel, look at other options, or leave it to you?
Yeah, I think that's a great question, man. I think that there's 2 things that I would tell somebody that feels like they're ready and nobody's put them in the spot. First of all, really check yourself. Are you ready? Right? Like look internally and say, okay, now look, if you're passed up, we were talking about this the other day on the show with my boy Dan Dillingham of Dealer Alchemist. 25 years, 30 years in the car business, almost same track as me, worked for E-Lead. I mean, just a wonderful trainer, fantastic car guy. And we talked about this the other day. It's like, look, were you ready? You know what I mean? Were you really mature enough? Did you have enough season on you? Right? Was it the season for you to grow? Are you being hungry and greedy, or are you ready? Right? And then also you really need to look at, what does that mean for you? Right? Like I took a $10,000 pay cut to go into management. I mean, I took a $10,000 pay cut to be a manager. So is it really what you want? First of all, think about that experience. And if your goal is to move forward and it's not money, then you're doing the right thing. Take the cut, take the loss, take the whatever, take your bumps and bruises, but make sure that you're actually ready. Because whenever I thought that I wasn't ready for my first real management job at that store, I left. And I found myself in another dealership. I had a floor manager's job, which was the same job I left. So I transferred parallel, which isn't the way to go. If you're not moving up, don't move, especially. And I've been with these guys 12 years, man. We were boys. You know what I mean? The GM was my boy. I've been to his house 50 times. I jumped over his house with a picture of margaritas when him and his wife were in the swimming pool having a good time together. I mean, like we had a friendship and a kinship, and I still made the mistake and left. But it was a chin check, right? That experience was a jab. And I went back, and instead of going to the Chevrolet store, they gave me a job. And that's when I was at F&I special at the Mazda store, and then ran the sales desk. Right. And I also found I really didn't know what I was doing. Like for as much work as I thought that I knew what I was doing, I really still didn't know what I was doing. I winged it, but I'd had enough season at that point that I was ready to go. But I would say this, check yourself first. And if you're really not ready, like, are you the first one there? Are you the last one to leave? Are you willing to work basically for free, do other people's jobs? Are you willing to watch all those guys that you worked for, badmouth you, call you a sellout and a player and all these things? Because when you go to that floor manager's job or that F&I manager's job, you have responsibilities that you don't even know of, right? Like you've got a list of things that you don't even know these guys do on a daily basis, and a list of responsibilities that you're going to be held accountable for. And you better be ready for them. And you better be ready for the backlash from the boys you spent 5 years on the floor with, because they're going to bang you up. And they're going to call you all kinds of names and all kinds of stuff. So if you're ready, then have an honest conversation with your general manager and make a plan for that. Don't threaten, don't trip, but make a plan. Say, listen, I feel like I'm ready. How do you feel about that? What do you think my pathway to victory for this is? Can we make a plan as men and as people, as women, as whatever, and make that plan and move forward with that? What does my track look like? And if they say that there's not a track for you, then if your spirit's pulling you, then go. And if you're gonna go, here's what I would tell you. You know who the people to lean on is? It's your vendors. If you don't think that your vendors are your best recruiter, right? And I'll tell this young salespeople real quick. Check yourself with how you handle people, right? Because the guy that's putting on your tires, the guy that's selling floor mats to your used car department, let me tell you something. He might be the most well-known person in that city. And he might be the most well-liked millionaire you didn't even know existed. So we had a guy named Kyle in Houston, Texas. I'm literally giving Kyle's example. It was a company called American Wire Wheels. They drove around in box trucks. He wore scrubs, you know what I mean? Like that mechanic shirt and mechanic pants. And they'd pull up and he'd walk to used car department. He'd say, hey, these hubcaps are busted. You need floor mats in this. And everybody'd sign his tickets and do the thing. It's $800-900 every trip he pulls in. He's got 10 trucks running. Listen, what you don't know is that Kyle is a multi-millionaire with a business mind that you've never even like dreamed that this guy in a mechanic set of pants has. He's also got the ear of every general manager in that town. He knows every general manager in town. And he knows their business. And he knows who's leaving. He knows who's quitting. He knows who's getting fired before they know they're getting fired. And so I would say, watch how you treat your vendors and talk to those folks, but then ask your vendors quietly. Say, hey, I've been here a long time, man. Maybe it's time for me to shift. Do you know of a spot that might fit for me? Do you know somebody that's looking for, an entry-level used car manager, somebody to prove themselves? Or do you know where I could go and shine and then take somebody's job? Like, make a plan for that. We're all too emotional in the car business. Man, they ain't treating me right. This guy, I never get my shot. Bro, calm down. This is a business. Operate yourself like a business. Put yourself out there like a businessman. Make business moves and shift like a boss. That's what I would say.
I'll say this too, and this is when I was younger, bro. Like I used to get so frustrated when I hear this, but the longer I've been in just business in general, it just makes so much sense. Typically, if you want a job, start doing the job before you get it.
Come on.
You know what I'm saying? Like yeah, cool. 100%. Hey, I want to be in whatever that looks like. Cool. Are you leading now from the position that you're in? Because the title doesn't mean anything. Like realistically, when me personally, like whenever we would look to bring a salesperson up to, being be on the desk, running whatever, right? I'm looking at, okay, do we want to replicate? Because that's what's going to happen. If you're in management, you're supposed to lead from the front. This person in management, are we looking to replicate him and our salespeople? You know what I'm saying? If the answer is no, then no. You know what I'm saying? So start expressing that stuff, like, working with mentoring the rookies in the house, helping it, hey, let me take the TO. I don't want half your deal, bro. I'm gonna just help you close this deal. You know what I'm saying? You're doing that stuff. Are you already a leader, naturally now? If not, bro, you got some work to do. Definitely got some work to do.
No, that's a fantastic point, man. Are you mentoring somebody? And if you want to find out if you're ready to be that manager, why don't you take that green pea under your wing for free? Right? When that young lady walks in the door and she's scared of the car business, that young kid walks in the door, or that old man that's switching out of the fire department for 35 years, why don't you find out what that dude's about and make him a star? Right? And if you can make that dude a star or that lady a star, then maybe you're a kingmaker. And if you're a kingmaker, then you can be a manager. But you got to be willing to make those people the star and take that light off of you and shine and get those people ready. And it's tough. I think because our business is tough.
I think that's what really kept me in the business. Because of course, we've all wanted to leave. You said yourself you left and ended up coming back. But what kept me in it for all these years, honestly, was that because I saw what having the right manager did for me, who gave me a platform. Again, I wasn't the best closer, but I could flood a dealership out with like nobody's business, and putting me in a position to take advantage of my skill set as I grew in other areas as well. I was like, bro, that changed my life, man. You know what I'm saying? So getting in a position to where, okay, hey, you're the rookie. Yeah, group one doesn't do the target training anymore. Let me break this down for me from start to finish. This is how we address our customers on the lot. This is what we do. And then taking a step forward, of course, and like, hey, the leads are the leads, whatever. Here's how you build your own brand to where your customers are basically brainwashed on buying from you specifically. This is what you post on social media. This is da 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 da. You know what I'm saying? Watching that is like, bruh, you know what I'm saying? That's magic to me. You know what I'm saying? And I'm sure you've had this happen before. Nothing to me is better than when you can take that guy who, again, comes from maybe the bad situation or what have you, and just watch him go from, okay, I don't know what I'm doing, to that little aha moment where it's his first time setting that appointment, like on the call, like, bro, you that appointment for work. Holy crap, that's all I gotta do. That's all I gotta do.
He's coming, bro. That dude said he's coming.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Hey, sign right here. Bro. Because you all seen it, they're like, bro. Yeah, absolutely, man. Right, but you see that stuff, man, and dog. That's, to me, that's what the most addictive part of the car business is.
Right.
You can, once you, after a certain point, you can, you're gonna make your money and everything. But developing other people, that's the best drug in the world.
That's the key, man. Bro, yeah, it really is developing other people. No, I agree with that, man. And again, that goes back to what I touched on earlier with you, and for what little I know about you, I can tell you're a genuine person with a servant's heart. Like, back to the military, back to the fire department, back to the mentoring, back to the brand building, back to the you. And then, and I don't know your why. What's your why? I really kind of hate that thing, but
yeah, 5 really, kids, bro. That's more than
come on. That's what I'm saying, bro. It's so obvious with you, bro. You got 5 kids, bro. No, that's great, man.
Honestly, though, here's my why. Like, if I'm honest with myself, I came from, again, not the best of situations. And for whatever reason, I just always had this thought process, like, man, they didn't believe in me. Whether that's true or not, I'm sure I make up a lot of that. But I'm just like, always, I can't wait to prove you wrong. Like, if I'm really honest with myself, in the pit of my stomach, it's like, ooh, and it can be the slightest of thing, bro. What do you say? Oh, I can't do that, because like my first couple videos on TikTok was literally
hold my beer, bro.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Like, my first, like, when I started really pouring into this, there was a chief sales officer of a company I used to work for, and he came in. Dude had sold furniture. He'd been, gotten really high, but he was in the furniture business. He took over an automotive group, and he wanted to basically revamp and change everything that we had built in this company. Mind you, it's a subprime automotive group. But this group would, I think, one of our best stores, we had 4 salespeople, basically like a assistant sales manager doing 150 units with, nuts, unheard of stuff, right? And this is starting to become the norm across the board. He's like, yeah, I want to change up everything. I'm like, okay. He's like, look, your way is okay, but my way works better. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to step down from my position. Give me a store. Let me show you what's up. And we took that dealership from 8 cars in February of that year to 78 in March in 30 days. Come on. 3 green peas. And I was like, this is how you sell cars. This is what works. But yeah, so I'm petty as hell, bro. God, I'm so petty.
I think most of us are, man. I think most of us are. There's something driving us, right? I mean, the thing I love about the car business, it's a baseball team. It's a football team, right? I mean, and when you get into that 15 to 25 or whatever, that 15 to 18 group, you're in the game, man. You're a player. You know what I mean? You're not the B team. You're on there, man. Like, you're there. You're making a living. You're paying your bills. You're supporting your family. I mean, 15 in this day and age, with the way things have been for the last 2 years. I mean, hell, you made $1 billion, right? But in the regular days and in the times that we're moving into, and that's what's so important about the training and the personal branding and becoming yourself. That's what I was so attracted to you about. Somebody mentioned you. I had never come across you on TikTok, and I think it was Trent Cannon was like, man, you gotta talk. You gotta look at Deric. And I just went and clicked on your stuff, and I was like, fire. Right. And I mean, fire, no, get game, recognize game, as they said. Right. So I mean, it was fire. And I was like, oh, this guy's got it. And you were an inspiration to me, even because it's like, look, all this nonsense I'm talking about, confidence and this and that. Bro, I don't look at my TikTok thing twice and go like, man, that was stupid, bro. That was dumb, bro. Post it. But I've got the no quit. I'll hit the send button. Right. And so as long as you hit the send button, you're moving forward. But I love that, man. Yeah. Petty.
Oh my God, man. It's
Richard
like
Petty, baby.
Motivation. But onto the social media side, bro, it's so easy in today's day and age, man. Like, the simplest of tricks, to keep it short, keep it simple, but bro, just document your day. Like, I was talking to AJ, that's Bruce Miller's his finance guy. He's like, what can we do? What can I do specific? I was like, bro, what y'all don't understand is I'm not the dealership anymore. I work for this company from the house. I spend more time with the family. Of course, I consult with places, but I'm not in there on the day-to-day. I'm having to think really hard, formulate stuff that what happened in the dealership, or take inspiration from situations I read online or from my buddies or what have you. I'm like, bro, you live this every day. Every situation happens, from the customer who's trying to cuss you out. That's a great piece of content. The insane situation where you got to do a repo. Boom. That's a great skit. Throw that out there. Just documenting.
Or just a piece of truth. You know, I mean, even just looking into the camera, you don't have to be funny. You don't have to be clever. You don't have to make a double take TikTok. Just put on there. And Doc, you said, man, that was brilliant. Document your day, right? If you're a plumber, a doctor, a lawyer, and you want to have some kind of brand business, some kind of building on this, document your day, man. Get on the camera, hit the record button and tell them about to go through something tough, man. About to make somebody's day rough. I'm repoing a car.
I'm telling, like, and I think that people don't realize the amount of value that has. Like, a car salesman that's been in the business for 6 months, and of course, that's a rookie, but they are almost a subject matter expert to an everyday consumer, because they, you got to think, we sell cars every single day. They buy cars, what, on average, every 3 to 4 years. So with you, having that game and watching how these things go, like just sitting there talking about this stuff, even if it's simple as like, I'm a rookie, I just learned this today. That could be game changing. Like, my whole philosophy is always, and if you look at my content, it's funny, a lot of times, but and I'm trying to get more so into some of the more serious situations, like, because folks were really like ragging on some of the bad credit skits I did, like, making fun of folks. And I was like, bro, we're in the people business at the end of the day. The cars sell themselves. We're in the people business. You never know what's going on. But I totally just mind blanked on where I was going with that. But
I'll pull you back to what you said. You were talking about the green pea being an extra subject matter. An expert in the subject,
so,
right?
Yeah, just putting that stuff out there, man. You'll notice that a lot of content I put may be funny, maybe, heart-wrenching, whatever, but there's always some type of lesson I'm trying to teach with that. I'm always trying to give some type of value, whether it be, hey, work with, like, from the consumer side of the fence. They love when I say, hey, check with your local credit union before you go into the dealership so you can get an idea of what your financing is going to be. That way, if you, whatever interest rate comes through, you kind of know what that is. Again, I'm a consumer side with my content out there, not, but like little things like that, bro. That's game.
But even still, for salespeople listening, man, for all the new guys listening, and listen, your F&I department ain't going to be thrilled with you, but the reality of it is, man, it's your job to sell cars, bro. It's your job to put food on your family's plate, right? It's your job to pay your rent. It's your job to pay your Escalade payment. It's your job to upgrade out of that Pinto, man. And the only way to do that is to convince consumers that you're the place that they should spend their money. That's the reality of it. And so if giving people educational tips, listen, and I'll say this too, the car business has restrictions that they didn't have 10, 15, 20 years ago. You're not going to make 10 points on a customer, right? I mean, you can't make 10 points on the back end and a customer and make $25,000 on the back end or some kind of nonsense like it's 1984. You're not going to make but 2 points anyways. So if you send your customer to the credit union and say, hey, get pre-approved, figure out where you're at, you're not really losing anything. All you're doing is building consumer confidence because they've already done it. Like, most of them have already gone there. They've already looked. So if you're telling them, hey, please look, right? We're not hiding anything. Please go look. Find out your information. Let's figure this out together. It's easier.
And that's what I love about the social media stuff too, bros, because all I'm doing is basically establishing trust. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have so many people all the time, like, man, I would love to. And I've referred a lot of folks to, different dealerships, and they rock with that dealership just off the strength of me, because I'm transparent, because I'm just being myself, no frills, no, and I go a little wild sometimes out there, but because I'm just so genuinely deep, they trust me, they rock with me. And that's, in my opinion, the hardest part of the sale. You know what I'm saying? Getting them to trust.
Yeah, I agree.
We're a sleazy car salesman or whatever the case may be. When I humanize myself, like, bro, it's just old Deric Bumper. You know what I'm saying? I just happen to sell cars. Boom. You know what I'm saying? That's where the money is. And especially in today's day and age, bro, you don't have to be good. You just got to be known. Because if you got a million people following, bro, I guarantee you're going to sell more cars than a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? Probably more than most dealerships.
Probably more than most dealerships.
Bro, right. You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
it's not about
good. Well, listen, there's tricks to this thing. Like, I just did Sean V. Bradley's Millionaire podcast the other day. I was on his show, and I like his show. He's got great people. He's got a great reach, right? He's got 25,000 people in that group. Shout out to what he's done. But the thing about this is like, he had a customer. He had a salesman on Cody. Can't remember his name. Cody, something out of San Diego, California, right, or OC in California, doing 140 cars on the floor, bro. 140 by himself. Now, listen, this guy ain't a run-of-the-mill chump. He saw something early. He paid attention to his business. He built a brand. He's a lease hacker. He's figured out how to help and work with the manufacturers to make leasing programs better for his customers. He's put all this thing together. And when there was no inventory, he was still pulling inventory from everybody, because inventory is available, especially at a new car store, right? Because, I mean, I know it's changed a little bit, but you can buy that inventory. Like, you can get that inventory. You can find it. You can trade it. You can move it. You can shift it. You can sell somewhere else. Like, We're not trapped in the old fishbowl of the old car business where we're just in this glass bubble swimming around waiting on some bait to come in or to be fed by a customer. Like you can go out like you're doing and reach and touch customers. 140 cars on the floor, man. Imagine that. 140. Like
Jesus
that's
Christ.
wild, man. I mean, that's wild. And it's all personal branding. Think about that. It's all his traffic. The whole store only sells like 240, and he's doing 140 of them. Like
Jesus, bro. I can't even imagine. But you know, that's the
shit, bro.
I'm sure, what's crazy is now that he's put in the work, I'm sure it's so easy. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just so easy. His deal's just super smooth. He doesn't have to really have too many conversations. Boom. Because they know about him, they know what he's all about and everything. You just, oh God.
Yep. It's done. I mean, it's
them checks.
Yeah, it's an inspiration. I'm gonna get him on and I'm gonna talk to him about it. Yeah, I'm gonna get him on the show and talk to him about it if I can, if he's got time. But even still, it's like you said, he's probably got that process so smooth that he walks in. It's like delivery, boom, delivery, boom, delivery, boom. He's got one assistant. I know he's got one assistant. I mean, I've done 40. I might be lying if I said 44. I can't remember if there was a 44 month in there, but 42 for sure that I can remember on, my high. That's a lot of business, man. I mean, that's 4 or 5 on each Saturday, and then that's banging one out every other day. It's still taking a day off, trying to rest and not murder yourself, and things click and things happen, but it's a lot of cars, man. And this dude made me look like a sucker. I'm talking about my high is a third of his production. Yeah.
I guarantee, and he probably takes every single day off. He's not doing bell to bell. It's like 9 to 5 type situation.
Absolutely.
Just jeez, man. The same thing I heard about Ali and Rada though. Because I know he was really big with Damian Boudreaux. But same thing, 9 to 5. He's got a super simple process. He really doesn't even do any test drives, if I'm not mistaken. Just boom, they know what he's about, know what's going to happen. And they pretty much just in and out super quick.
Yeah, well, he's a trusted resource to the community to go and spend their money. And how has he done that? I mean, how has he done that? How have you done that? How am I doing that? Right? I mean, how have you built this brand over all these years and found a way to be financially stable on your own with your own platform? And I think the answer to it was just trying, right? It was just going and being real.
Well, so the literal answer to that was, I think it's more so better to speak about the inspiration. So when I looked at me specifically, again, I'm in Mississippi. I'm from, the west side of Georgia, right? I didn't go to college with any of these folks. I wasn't in the military with any of these folks. I didn't go to high school, didn't date. I don't know these people. I'm a transplant. So my thought process on it, and I think a lot of people as well as they're trying to get into this space, is that what are some of the old classic guys doing? We all know that one, old car guy that's been in here for 20 plus years. It's going to do 20 cars month in and month out. You know what I'm saying? He barely makes a phone call, never's outside waiting on the ups. And when I watch those guys, because I'm like, man, I'm out here, I'm one of the lot dogs, you know what I'm saying? Lot lizards out here waiting on the up, trying to make something happen. But I see these guys
on the up bus.
Yeah, that's it. You know what I'm saying? That was actually the first in my podcast back in the day. But and it's just not coming, especially in today's day and age. So I was like, what can I do? And I was like, social media. I don't have to, I don't have the Rolodex with 50, God knows 50,000 people in it. But guess what? I can get 5,000 friends on Facebook. You know what I'm saying? I can post content and show, you know what I'm saying, basically embed myself into their social media life. I can force it. I don't have to be, I'm not friends with you yet, but guess what? Came in here, you bought a car from me. I'm adding you on Facebook. I'm adding your friends and family members. I'm tagging them in, I'm tagging you in your customer testimonial video so that you see it, my people see it, and your friends see it. I'm trolling through the comments. Oh, girl, I love your car. Guess where she got it from? Come see me, baby. You know what time it is. Let's go. You know what I'm saying? I'm pushing that grassroots market and basically replicating what they do naturally. After being here for years, I'm just using social media the exact same thing. So that's how.
I mean, that's brilliant.
That was the genesis of it right there.
Oh, that's brilliant, man. I love the fact that you're adding those people, you're tagging those people, you're making them part of your group, your life, right? And not just your business page. Hey, don't follow Deric Bumper, the car guy, right? Follow Deric Bumper, right? Follow me. I'm Deric Bumper. Right. Follow me. Come see Steve Fucile. Tell your friends. I'll tag your friends. I love that, man. That's so brilliant, so smart. It's so organic and so free. Free.
I think that's where a lot of people jack up to, man, as I go through and kind of basically not triage, but diagnose what's going on with their social media. A lot of times they're trying to establish themselves as, Steven, the car salesman named Steven, instead of Steven, who just so happens to sell cars. And something I stole this line from Phil, who used to work for Don Bone Ford, and I think he was the Group 1 guy for like Target training for years. But this always sticks with me. I probably said it a couple times already. We're in the people business. We just happen to sell cars. And if you truly embody that, because in my opinion, that's the way to be successful, then have that same attitude on your social media. The person, you know what I'm saying? Oh, cool. You got a sale. Everybody give a shit that you got a Labor Day sale, bro. But guess what? They do care that, you know what? Hey, Miss Jones is on here just talking about, bro, you're right, you know, but they do care about Miss Jones talking about her situation and how, you say, oh my God, I love my car and I didn't want to give it, but dang it, my alternator, my transmission, all this stuff kept going wrong. And, you know, Deric just took care of me. This is the best experience I ever had. He's not one of those folks. That is what's going to speak to your customer base. And if you can load your page up with just that, showing real connections, real people, and showing that, hey, I got kids, they bad as hell, and here's what they do on a daily basis. Me and the wife going out, grab some crab. Me and the wife doing it. Who you are alongside that shit, bro. That's the hit. Now, you know what's crazy, bro? The wildest thing. You will never see me post a car on my Facebook for sale. Never. And I sell a shit ton of cars. Why? Because everybody's got cars. Everybody's got cars, but nobody's got me. And I'm the product I'm selling.
Right.
That's the difference maker, man.
Hey, man, that's brilliant. It's beautiful. I love what you're doing, man. I think, do me a favor, shout out 5 quick tips, man, for somebody that's sitting there staring at us, watching us. I got a podcast. You got your thing going. I got IG. You got your IG, your TikTok. For the guy staring at this camera, looking at Deric Bumper in his office, at home. By the way, hold on first. Before we even get into this, I got to know what these flags are, bro. I be seeing these flags in your room, and I got to know what these flags are, man. What are they? Okay.
That's
Atlanta United.
Yeah. So Atlanta United, that's just a little chalkboard. I got some other stuff in here too. You can't really see it. I'm not going to show it's just a mess over there, but I'm a big like Georgia fan of everything. So Georgia Bulldogs, Atlanta Hawks, you know what I'm saying, Atlanta Falcons. We got some trouble with the Falcons, but it's all right. You know, it's just we're gonna get there eventually.
We all have problems with our team, man. I live in Dallas. Yeah. Listen, we got so many problems with our team that our paraplegic governor said, I can kick better than the kicker for the Cowboys. He said that on Twitter, bro. This is the governor of Texas that's paralyzed. So, like, shout out to the kicker of the Dallas Cowboys. The former kicker of the Dallas Cowboys, I would be willing to imagine, right? Anyway, let's do this, man. Give me 5 quick tips, man, for the brand new guy staring in this camera, whether he's a plumber, a truck driver, an electrician, a car guy, or somebody that just wants to be on here and have a way to connect with people, that's an introvert but feels good behind the camera, because there's tons and tons and tons of things. You don't have to be an extrovert, right? You can be anybody and be on there. So 100%. Give some quick tips, man. If this was your recommendation, tell people what to do.
All right. So first and foremost, get uncomfortable. You know, think whatever that thing is that terrifies you, you know what I'm saying, but you feel is going to get you where you want to be, do it. Because the more afraid you are, that's the warning sign that I'm breaking out of my shell, I'm breaking out of my box, and you're going to get to where you want to be. So that's number one, get uncomfortable. If it comes to like building a personal brand or anything like that, bro, just do it. Stop thinking, stop overanalyzing, just do it. Just post that video, just write that status, just write that article, whatever that thing is for you, just do it. And number 3, be consistent with it. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to happen on the first day. It's not going to happen in the first month. Hell, I've been doing social media and doing it heavily for probably since, 2014, coming up on 10 years now. I'm just now starting to bear like holy crap fruit from it. But it took every lesson from my terrible live video, my terrible idea with this, and it all builds upon each other. And I'll say this to that number 4, you're going to fail, and fail early, you know what I'm saying, and fail often. And don't look at it as a bad thing. Don't look at it as every, like, I can truly say that I have failed my way to success. I can truly say that.
I love that.
Because here, the reality is, you don't really lose if you don't stop playing the game. You know what I'm saying? So don't look at failure as it is. You're either gonna win or you're gonna learn. That's the way I look at it. And number 5, follow me. That's how you do it. Follow me on there.
Yeah, baby.
Let's go. Deric Sells Cars.
Hey, that's a perfect plug-in, man. That's a perfect plug-in. If you want to follow Deric, man, follow Deric at DericSellsCars.me. That's DericSellsCars.me. But for one, don't forget to hit the like button. Don't forget to hit subscribe. Don't forget to follow me, baby. You know what I mean? I'm all about the you, but gosh, I sure do like me too, man. This has been fun, brother. This has been fun.
I had an amazing time, man. I appreciate you having me on here, bro. appreciate you having me.
We're gonna do this. We're gonna do this often, man. We're gonna do this often. Anytime you got something you want to come on, man, you're a new friend of mine, and you're definitely a new guest, man. I can't wait to get you in studio. You're making all that money, brother, when you flying into Dallas. That's what I got to know.
Hey, I was actually gonna be at NADA, but Bruce, he worked it out for me to come around that time. So that was literally I was gonna be out there. I was down there with Bruce, getting his guys together. So, but I'm with that, man.
Yeah.
I'm with that, and I might have. I'm gonna talk about offline. I got somebody I think that would be a dope guest to have on here too. A really dope
awesome.
guest. He's a GM for
That's awesome.
He's getting.
I love that, man. Listen. Thank you so much for being on the show, brother. You know, I'm Steve Fucile. Shout out to Identity IQ, man. Don't forget Identity IQ is paying the bills, baby. All 3 credit reports, FICO scores, all the good stuff that we love. Listen, man, go check them out. The link's in the description. My link's in the description. Don't forget to hit DericSellsCars.me, man. That's it, brother. Thank you so much for being on the show, man. Much love.
For sure. Appreciate it, man.
Absolutely, brother.